Hello and welcome to Game & Babble. I'm your host, Jell. Well, here we go again. Once again, we have ourselves a big-name 360 PS3 release, and the publisher, not wanting to miss out on the Wii crowd, hires a completely different developer to make a completely different game with the same theme in order to release it on the Wii. And it's happening once again with Transformers War for Cybertron, or as it's called on Wii, Transformers Cybertron Adventures, a light gun-style rail shooter. It's like a punchline to a damn joke. But that said, it actually looks kinda decent, and upon starting it up you understand why it's made by Next Level Games, the fine folks that brought us the Mario Strikers series. As one might expect, there's two separate campaigns, Autobot and Decepticon, each one 8 stages long. Which character you play in each stage is selected automatically, and they all play pretty similarly with some slight differences. The reason for this is because each stage is chock full of mid-mission talking, livening things up. There's two primary gameplay styles, vehicle and robot form. The way the stages generally play out is you transform into a vehicle, drive to a point, then transform into a robot and clear the point out, then you transform into a vehicle and drive to the next point. The vehicle mode plays either like Road Blaster or Star Fox, depending upon if you're a car or an airplane. You use the analog stick to steer your vehicle, holding A fires your forward weapon, while holding B and swiping it around the screen allows you to lock on and fire your missiles. Luckily, they did balance the missiles and cannon out, so that way they are both useful and one does not overpower the other. Once you get to a point, it basically turns into a third-person time crisis. You automatically move from cover point to cover point. Holding A, you hide behind a cover point, and pointing the Wiimote at the screen and pressing B allows you to shoot. You can use the analog stick to switch between 4 different weapons, your blaster or cannon, Gatling gun, homing missiles, or sniper rifle, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. You can also hold Z to zoom in on a point for precision aiming, obviously meant for the sniper rifle. There's actually some stage segments where you have to face off against snipers in the distance, and the best way to do this is to switch to your sniper rifle. This is easily the highlight of the game, as it feels like probably the best home port of Silent Scope yet, mixed with Time Crisis. Also, stages have various missions scattered throughout them. Things like protect this character, or clear out this area within the time limit, that helps liven things up and gives them a little bit of extra challenge, which is desperately needed. If this game has one flaw, it's the fact that it's probably a bit too easy. See, you know how in a lot of first and third person shooters you can hide and recover health? Yeah, imagine that in Time Crisis. Yeah. But thanks to these missions, I've actually managed to die a few times. Not that it's much of a problem, though, considering there's plenty of checkpoints and unlimited continues. Honestly, I wish they would have been more like Time Crisis and put timers on the level more often. The final Decepticon stage actually did this, and it made it a lot more fun to play, actually keeping me on my toes and forcing me to use the best weapon for the situation, rather than just using whatever the fuck I wanted to and beating the stage at a slow, plodding pace. But you're probably wondering about the 2-player co-op mode. The game is clearly designed for single-player play, but there is a 2-player co-op option that many people have been asking about. And while it is tacked on, it does function. During the vehicle sections, the first player drives while the second player takes control of the guns. Because of this, the second player actually gets an aimable cannon instead of the stationary cannon you have in single player. Once you transform into robot form, the second player shoots from off-screen with a standard blaster, and can also target specific enemies for bonus points. It's not much, but it's enough, and it could be pretty fun. I don't know, I didn't exactly have a second player handy at the time when I tested this. It's also worth noting that the Wii one has different cutscenes than the 360 and PS3 one. It seems to take place during the Autobot campaign, but from different angles, which could make it pretty fun to play for hardcore Transformers fans. So overall, it's sounding pretty good. So what are its flaws? Well, for starters, it's kinda short. 8 stages for Autobot and Decepticon. While they are unique for a grand total of 16 stages, which is actually longer than it sounds, it's still pretty short. It's to be expected of the genre, quite frankly. While they do allow you to replay stages and take on achievement challenges, there's only so many people who are actually going to give a shit about that. I do also have to complain about the lack of bosses and the fact that when you get the blaster, it sort of cheapens the experience. See, while the cannon is a powerful single-shot weapon similar to a super-powered pistol, the blaster is just a rapid-fire gun, and having that as your standard weapon just sort of cheapens the experience. But the biggest flaw would have to be the music, or lack thereof. Here, take a listen. Music's there, but it's muted, quiet, and atmospheric. That doesn't work for a game like this. We need mercilessly wailing guitars of godlike electro cheese, or at least some damn techno. As it stands, this quiet, atmospheric crap just sort of saps the life out of most of the game, making it feel much cheaper than it actually is. You'd be surprised how important good music is to a game like this. Overall, I'd say it's actually a pretty decent game. I had more fun with it than I expected. I wouldn't recommend paying full price for it, especially when there's a far superior rail shooter that utterly decimates the entire genre for the same price. But as a rental, or once it drops in price, I definitely recommend it then, especially to Transformers fans. Overall, I give it a 3.4 out of 5. Ain't bad. Good job, Next Level Games. Anyway, this is Gel, and you've been Game Babbled. See ya.